Welcome to the Fireside Tribe podcast by Triple A. We are a community that sits together and deliberate over Cameroonian culture, specifically through the lens of Cameroonian music. We come together to share with you highlights of Cameroonian culture, highlights of Cameroonian music, and our goal is that at the end of this episode, you've learned a thing or two about Cameroonian culture. With me today, our usual host, I have with me ATM, Eunice, and myself, Anyang, and we're welcoming special guests as well, all the way from Chicago, Peter Jericho. Thank you for joining us on the Fireside Trap podcast by Triple A. Thank you.
Inviting you as a guest, that was like my first time I've heard about you, but that was my first time diving into a research about you and learning more about your music. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
It's an interesting story. My parents came here to the United States in the late '70s to pursue university, to get their master's degrees in Illinois and in Indiana and stuff like that. After having some sort of beginning of a career in Cameroon, I think we had just started getting switched over from independence, and everybody was trying to find their place in Cameroon. And I think the best way for people to get acknowledgement in Cameroon was to basically have some sort of education. And so, coming to the States, giving birth to me, and being from a musical family, my parents met in the choir. So it got instilled in me very early. I was exposed to music early, and also, sang in the choir, and moved back to Cameroon as well when I was really young, at age 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the background of me just beginning, just the start of music, and trying to get on this journey was really an independent one. I was not pushed to music by my parents or my family or anything. I actually was on an independent journey in Canada when I started music, and I had the skill. I think a lot of people tell me that I have the skill, and it's something that all black folks, whether we're African or African American or whatever, we have this talent, and we're capable of using.
Yo, bro. Some people have the talent. You have the skill, the talents.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen it. I heard it. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah. So it was just something that was in me, and I thank God that I chased it and followed it, and I continue to do it, and it's my purpose, and so. That's a little bit of the more we go, I'll give you more details about myself, but that's kind of just the beginning.
Okay, so I have one more question before Anyang goes into his rapid fire thing, right? I want to know, I'm so curious, this is one curiosity of mine. Peter Jericho, how did you come about that name?
So my dad's name is Peter, and me being Peter as well, people used to call me PJ when I was younger, because they assumed that I was a junior, even though me and my father have different middle names. And so people called me PJ for the longest. But then when I moved...
That's where the J came
Yeah,
about.
that's where the J came from, man. And as I moved to Canada, a lot of people didn't know that I was a junior. And they always wonder, what's PJ? What's this J? What's this J? So because I was in the church, I sang in the church a lot. One of the guys that I knew just he found a church name that was in the Bible, and he was like, yo, you're Jericho, you're like the wall of Jericho, man. That PJ is the Jericho. You're P Jericho. And so it sounded corny at first, and then after he kept saying it for months and months and months, it just became,
It just stuck.
It just became your name. I just want to say it sounds very cool though.
Sure.
The name is like
It is
really
Actually,
cool
sounds
name.
pretty original. Like it's always dawned on me. I've always wondered how he came about choosing that name of all names. Like in my greatest creativity, there's no way I'm gonna come up with get the biblical name for my name.
Jericho.
Hi, but
At the
At least
Moses.
all that got it. Those are be bad boys. So at least they'll give me some credit when I come around and
At
say.
the Moses. At
Yeah,
the
that's why I have to
Abraham.
be really careful.
No, let's just make it. Yeah,
I see.
but real for real, has that had an impact on the choice of music that you make, like the content or the way
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely. You know, I have older parents who they're already sketchy about you doing music, and then if you're doing music that Cameroonian parents, right, African parents,
Right.
if you're now doing music that is very secular and outside of, even if they like it, trying to explain it to their friends, and I go back to Cameroon and they tell me to take my earrings off at church. It's just all these different things that are part of a culture that I didn't necessarily fully grow up in entirely, but I have to be very aware that I have an image, right? My parents have an image. My father is a very popular guy back home, so he has an image that I have to protect as well.
Okay.
So for those that don't know it, I know Peter is being very humble about his origins.
That's the question I was going to ask.
I know, but yeah, your dad was a very famous TV anchor in Cameroon, right? And I remember growing up actually watching this guy on TV and being like, man, well, I don't know even thinking about wanting to be like him, but it was just like it's a level that we just when we watch someone anchoring the news on TV, it was like, yeah, that's a whole level that no one can reach. So yeah, a lot of respect, man. Yeah. And does that have do you feel like that has an impact on you? On you when you're growing up and you're doing music, or in your choice of making music, or influencing you in your career?
Yeah. It almost had a negative impact, especially with growing in Cameroon, because his name was so big, and there's this misconception that popularity means money, and everybody in Cameroon just, I guess, assumed that we were stinking rich. And so no matter what I brought, I think it's probably some of the same issues that Davido, however you say his name, faces, right? Coming from a rich family, but even being talented, but nobody really wanting to take you serious because they feel that you have everything. And so why should we give you this as well? So I struggled a lot going back to Cameroon and trying to do like promo runs, and people not really taking me serious, or taking me serious but wanting to get paid. It's going to cost you, such and such amount of money. And I'm like, man, I had to fly out here.
Wow.
I had to do all of these things.
I'm doing so much for the culture. I'm putting the country on the globe. I'm representing the country like in all these places, and you guys are still asking me to pay tax for that.
Especially when I went to, I shot a music video in Haiti, and the reception that I got in Haiti was crazy. Like, the people loved me so much, and I thought that music video I would take to Cameroon and it would blow up for them to see me, and pushing our culture, walking the streets of another country with a Cameroonian flag. And Cameroonian TV and television, they're like, my guy, we don't care how much money do you have for us, type stuff. So yeah, so it kind of didn't help out initially, but it is what it is.
Which in a way is one of the things that, if you, an artist that has lived in the diaspora, has made music in the diaspora, you're coming with so much experience, and then you go to Cameroon and you're facing this much obstacle, partly maybe because of your origins and your family name and everything, but I feel like this is a similar fight that even artists in Cameroon might be facing, right? Even they're within, and they might have even more limited resources than you. And this is one of the things that we've been discussing as one of the reasons why Cameroonian music doesn't really progress that much, because we are our own
downfall.
Obstacle. Our own downfall.
Yo, so for those of you that have been sleeping on Peter Jericho, those of you that don't know it, this is a song that we're talking about. So you guys will have to do some catch up. Maybe we should take this like the little segue into the next section.
Yes.
Omega shake, oh, it's my day, oh, my family's great, oh, we don't get trouble, nothing's gonna bring me down, it is my turn to wear the crown, today's my lucky day, today's my lucky day, today's my lucky day, in you give it, we raise up so that the position you keep it, Papa. Good job. Now it is with the walk up so let us
Yo, so that's it. That's Lucky Day. That was like what 7 years ago, and that's still sounding tight, still sounding relevant, it's still sounding dope, man. If I didn't actually scroll down to show how far back that song was, I'm sure people are still going to be looking for it, like a latest release that they missed up on.
Yeah. I wanted to dive into a few questions because I feel like a quick way to get to know a little bit about you is just to fire questions your way and see what you bounce back. What? Yeah. So I just have a set of questions that I'm gonna just fire your way, like I said, and just see how you feel about these different topics. And no need to think too much about it, but you can take your time. Eunice doesn't like when people overthink. She thinks it's too crafted, but I believe that I really want to do the answers to these questions, so you can take your time to answer them. Okay. So I'm just going to give you questions. You can choose either or of the options. And if there's a question that doesn't have an option and requires you to just answer it, go ahead. Let's start with some foods. Ero kati kati.
So I grew up eating Ero way more than kati kati. But Ero puts me in the toilet. So
It's that fiber. It's that fiber.
Did that Jericho get explanation? He has a whole history. Explanation for his answer.
Usually manager pick one or that two, they move on. Peter say no.
I mean, it makes sense.
So it depends on what I have to do for the day.
It's like I'm going to tell you guys, man.
For a long time, you choose Aero, but
Is it? There's those things now. It's Aero and Dole. Those two things. I know people have that same experience.
And
with Aero
Dole
and
is my country.
The funny thing is that I just forget about them when I'm about to eat it. So when I'm in front of Ndole or Aero, I just forget about their effect, right? Then I only remember when it sends me to the toilet when I'm taking trips.
Man.
But Peter, you mentioned something about Dole. You said Dole is your favorite.
It's my country chop. So yeah, my dad is Sawa.
All right.
Originally. Yeah, even though.
But you know that I thought your dad is English speaking, right? I thought
he is.
Your dad is Anglophone,
that's the thing
right?
that I want to break down to a lot of Cameroonians about English.
Teach us,
about
brother.
English and French, right? It's like these languages came to us in the 1900s, right? Like these are not languages that we spoke before. So our tribes were tribes before the colonization of the Germans or the Manga Bells and all of them. They existed before the World War I or World War II or whatever. So to separate ourselves by calling ourselves Anglophone or Francophone, even though we are from whatever tribes that we're from, it does not necessarily make sense. If you go to English school, you're Anglophone, but you could be of whatever tribe. So my dad's sister speaks French. She does not speak any English, and she lives in France, and she's the grandmother of Kylian Mbappe, and so.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, that's my dad's small sister. But that's a whole different family, right? You wouldn't even know that there's a relation.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
That's fun fact.
My father is Anglophone because he went to English speaking school, and was born in English speaking land. But at that time, the Bakwe people and the Sawa people, they were all in the same Kumba, Wala. They're all, the proximity of those places are pretty close. So all those people kind of merge with each other. So it's just a little bit of
and the Bakwe people and the Sawa people, you can even tell their similarities from their traditional outfits,
Their
right?
dressing.
From the
from the
rapas,
rapas.
the shirt. Right on the shirt and
let's
the
see
hat
if
with
I-
the
Absolutely.
that's them.
The feather.
All right.
Let me see.
Another question, and I'm gonna ask it this way, but I'm gonna correct myself later on. I'm gonna ask pancake or pancake.
What?
Yes, because if you've grown up in America and you've grown up in Cameroon, pancake means something different.
This is a tough one.
Eunice, you can't you don't get me, huh?
I'm so confused.
Pancake
and
in
I'm
Cameroon
sure
is
Peter
crepes.
is confused too.
No, pancake in Cameroon is crepe.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
French
yeah.
thin type.
Okay, it's a crepe. Yeah.
In America,
okay,
it's a
Cameroon pancake
donutty.
for American
Yeah.
pancake. Just talk and so.
Right.
See,
Yeah,
Because-
Cameroon
Why-
pancake or
why you
American
confused?
pancake.
Is it pancake or pancake? Like
Yes, no.
What? See, tell me the accent. Where you
Tomatoes or tomatoes?
Yeah,
Choose.
no, yeah.
When I leave that mommy answer the
Definitely,
question.
the crepe. When you put a little chocolate on
The
there,
crepe.
yeah, that thing is a killer.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I
The
like-
first
I like how we
question,
do it. I like how we
didn't
do
hear
it,
the
yeah, we
answer
do
to
it-
the first question, which was Aero or Kati Kati. Which one was it? Because I just heard about the explanation of.
It was Aero.
Yeah, it was Eru
Let me-
because I have more of a
let me
relationship
interrupt.
with Eru, but depending on where I am and if I see Kati Kati and
A
Yes,
shitty
I have
just
all
make-
white
Aero.
on and I'm at an event where
You're just making sure that he
there's
doesn't.
not a lot of bathrooms.
You're just making sure that it doesn't exclude Kati. That it still has a place.
For sure.
He has a shitty
All right.
relationship with Aero. That's what it is. That's all. But it's nice.
And I know that I'm sticking around food a lot with Dodo or with Bobolo.
That's tough. That is
That's
tough.
tough. Man, how did you come up with this one?
That is tough.
It's not tough for you.
Not for me at
Eunice.
all. I already know my answer.
Hi.
I will have to say
Sorry for you.
Bobolo
Okota.
or plantain. Thank you.
yeah.
Some people are
Did I just-
scared to have their hands smell a little bit.
Yeah, no, it has to be with Bobolo. Yeah, either Bobolo, Miendo.
Bobolo, alright.
I guess it's the same family.
It's funny because
When-
some people really haven't gotten. How do I say? Non-Cameroonians, they just haven't gotten used to Bobolo. Like they haven't figured it out. I don't know if you guys have come across people that really they don't
Yeah,
get Bobolo.
a lot of people.
Yes,
They don't get that-
Nigerians.
yeah.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
See, Nigerians,
Because-
my Nigerian co-workers, my Nigerian friends, they don't understand Bobolo. My only friend that understands Bobolo is the whole thing of Bobolo Bonkon. That's it. That's that joke. That's the only thing she learned from me about Bobolo. But the rest of them, they feel like it stinks and it's just disgusting to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't get that sour
Yeah.
taste when it
Like
now
a fermented
comes
type.
in contact
That's
with
beautiful
fish.
smell.
Yeah. All right. Anyways. Well, I forgot to show
Now-
photos as we're talking about it because when people will discover Bubolo all on this show today. But keep going, man.
My next question: When making music or when it comes to music, do you prefer making the music or performing the music?
I prefer making the music, even though.
Makossa or jazz?
Ooh.
Okay.
Even
No,
though-
Go ahead.
I
You
was just
prefer-
gonna say
you
that
prefer-
I love the feeling when it's received. You get what I'm saying? So the performing and seeing it be received, but it's not always received the right way. But when you're creating something that eventually gets received, So making the music, makossa or jazz.
Bro, Anyang did some work.
Yeah.
Anyang nailed it today. Because like usually people are just going tag, but this guy's got you pausing all
Yeah,
the time.
because
So Anyang, we're going
It's
to
really, I'm really into jazz. So
Yeah, you're from
yeah,
Chicago.
so I grew up. That's some of the people that got me motivated. The Nat King Coles, the Sarah Vaughns, man, everybody in jazz. So I might have to. I was about to say jazz, and then I think of how Makossa, Dede Yango, the things that he had us doing when that He Must Calculate came out, man. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
I'd say jazz because I understand the language that they're singing in, so I have more of an attachment to the storyline than Makossa. Makossa, I love the rhythms and the dancing and everything, but I don't speak Douala, so it kind of has me. My father who speaks Douala can tell me anything. He can say they're saying anything, and I just have to believe him.
While I have us on this topic, right? Where do we put Manu Dibango? Is it Makossa or is it jazz?
You have to put him in Makossa, just due to because I don't know, a lot of things due to the language determines the genre, and like reggaeton, right? I think those rhythms, if they're singing in patois, you would say that it's reggae, right? But because they have Spanish undertones, now it's reggaeton because you switch the language up. So it's jazzy Makossa, but Cameroonians are very musical. They're especially the Cameroonians from the late 70s and the 80s. If you listen to their music, very musical group, and jazz is just basically music, sophisticated music, and Cameroonians have been very sophisticated.
Expensive music.
There's all type of Cameroonian music, man. I was listening to Ted Brûlé the other day.
The way I look at jazz,
Ooh,
the way I look at jazz is if you can play it
You're
in
listing
an
all of my.
elevator.
You're listing all of my. You're listing all
Look
of
at
my
that.
my vinyls.
Yeah.
That's Cameroonian rock for me. That's Cameroonian 101
Man.
101 rock.
Absolutely. Those
Ted
guys are
Brûlé.
rock stars, man.
Look at this guy.
And just that little dance that they used to do, oh man.
Oh man.
And the way they used to shred the guitar.
That's why I was listening to them do it was a guitar and bass like solo together. It was like a duet, and the way they were going back and forth, I'm like, I don't even think Cameroonians understood what was going on there. We were so young and we were just so infatuated with the dancing and stuff, but not to understand how
And
skilled musically that they were is just unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So with
Ted
that
Brûlé
being
is,
said, right, would you say that there's more talent now or like back in the day? Like back in the days with the Atebas, with the Manu Dibangos, all those people back in the day, do you think there was more talent there or is there more
No, it's
talent now?
back then.
What would you say?
Yeah. Musically, like it was more of it was actually a requirement to be able to play an instrument, and that's worldwide, right? Anybody who came up back in the days was musically inclined, like all the way through. Nowadays, anybody can just jump in, just put some lyrics together and figure out a melody. But back then, those guys were actual musicians, and the even the way music was created. Now you have all the ability to edit and chop and this and sing a vocal and stop and go. Back then, everything had to be sang in one rip and full band.
Now you have the ability to fake
Yeah,
being.
no digital world, so no auto tunes and all of those things.
and you've
I
mentioned
agree
something
with
that I'm hoping that you could elaborate on right now, because we've talked about this in our early episodes last year, where we talked about the lack of musicality, and one of the reasons that came forward due to for as a justification to that lack of musicality was the lack of the abilities of the artists now to understand the fundamentals of music, like the do re fa, the re mi fa.
Right.
So I'm not a musician in any way, like those fundamentals that we used to hear back in the day, and it's also because they don't understand instrumentations. They can't read notes.
Right.
They don't understand those notes and everything, and that leads to what we can identify right now as a lack of quality in the
Yeah.
music.
I mean, it just got expensive, man. That's all I could say. I remember my mom tried to put me in piano classes in Cameroon with Madame Rêve, and Madame Rêve was charging 10,000 francs a week for sessions.
Whoa.
In like
Whoa.
early 90s. And I think I did 1 week, and my mom was like, "It's like half my salary."
That's an expensive.
Yeah.
That's an expensive
Yeah,
hobby you got out there, my son.
French woman. She thought she was in France, charging those type of prices. So yeah, it's like everything else, right? It's like our soccer programs. You're like the development of these players cannot start as early as you would want to because we don't have the infrastructures, and So I still think that we're very talented to be able to still create music and a sound even with lackluster equipment or facilities or whatever, right? We're still able to play football at a certain level. We're still able to have players go to the NBA. We're still able to do all of these things even though we don't have the infrastructure. So that in itself is God's gift.
Is there any Cameroonian in the NBA?
Yeah. So,
Hey, Pascal Siakam.
You too.
No, bro. I'm not current with that.
Joel Embiid. There's a Koloko that was in Toronto. He went to the Lakers. I think he's been traded right now. I think the Pelicans have another basketball player. Don't get us started.
Yeah, and then there's a mixed breed, Batums and all those guys who's
Christian Koloko, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Koloko, yeah. Koloko is he came from Yaoundé, played 2 years of college ball, went to in California, went to Toronto. He had a heart problem, so he was out for like a year and a half. Then the Lakers picked him.
Yeah, but the two main guys
we have
are Siakam and
who else?
Siakam, Pascal Siakam, and then Pascal Siakam is our championship winning Cameroonian right now because he won when he was with Toronto.
Embiid is our MVP.
Yeah, Embiid is our MVP.
Who's that?
Joel Embiid.
Even though he went and played for Team USA, which was controversial.
I mean, how much would they pay?
Is it Cameroonian American professional?
Never see his money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Okay, good. I mean,
at
the
some
Pelicans
point when it comes to
have
the
a Cameroonian
Cameroon thing,
too.
there's loyalty, but then also you have to think about your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a pockets thing because the Olympics don't pay, right? I think for that situation, it was he wanted to win. I think he did not want to go and play in the Olympics if he was not going to win, and he thought he had a better chance of winning with Team USA than obviously there's no Team Cameroon for real. So
yeah, even Siakam didn't go play for Cameroon. So
which is it's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
But so I think just like I didn't know any of the Cameroonian basketball players. I think Cameroon is kind of really how can I say, backward in basketball. I think we've invested so much time and capital on football that we have not looked at the other sports in Cameroon. I mean, but yeah, different topic for another day. Sorry for the tangent. But before we go,
easier. We're not gone yet. I have a few easier questions. Right.
But before you go ahead, I want to double click a bit on basketball because that's a Peter Jericho thing. Peter, you used to play a lot of basketball when we were young.
Still do.
What happened? You still do? Oh, okay.
I still do.
That's why you are so much in shape.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's why you're looking fresh like that.
It looks like it.
Yeah, man. So I'm sorry if your inbox gets full after this show, but yeah, just wanted to come back a little bit on that.
While we're on sports, then football or soccer?
I have more of a relationship with.
Peter, you play soccer too. I mean,
no, this
football.
is the thing. You guys are not understanding what I'm putting Peter through. I'm putting him through the walls that he grew in. I'm tearing him apart.
Look, for me, I wasn't even gonna think that Peter is gonna waste a second on that, and I'm really seeing that I'm stuck in my cliches.
You grew up in Chicago. Football is a part of your DNA.
Wow,
amazing,
is a big
man.
Part of our culture here, but my dad was a sports commentator for soccer. And in 1990, when Cameroon went to the World Cup and in Italy, this might tell you guys how old I am, but after we beat Argentina in the first game, it was a big deal. My dad was losing his mind. Everybody was going crazy, and he was able to fly me and my mom to Italy, where I was able to watch all the rest of the games until we lost in the quarterfinals to England. So I've always revered that moment because I stayed at the same hotel with all the players, Roger Mila, Omambik and all the rest, Fede, all those guys. And it's crazy because when I came back to Cameroon, I was very young, I was very small, but I had pictures with these players. And to try to tell some of my classmates that I was with Roger Mila, they would be like, "You're lying, stop lying." And so that heightened my
And there was no AI at that time.
yeah, that heightened my popularity in school. So
The keeper of that game was that Thomas Kono, or was that
Kono and Bell. And
man?
so World Cup soccer, I pick World Cup soccer over anything football anytime. But I'm not a club guy.
Okay.
So you guys that go crazy over Arsenal and Manchester and Chelsea and all that stuff.
Oh, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, so
German. Why?
This
I
German
I
just
have
is
Paysan friends that know the anthems and everything. They're singing the anthems of Chelsea. I said, wow, you guys are so dedicated to this shit. It's unbelievable.
Okay, another seemingly. Oh, Eunice, I don't want to interrupt you. If you have a question, go ahead. I have
I
another
said
seemingly
ATM
easy
is
question.
just off.
Yeah,
It
because
is,
we're talking about
Man,
Chelsea and Arsenal.
Cultural shock.
ATM will drop Chicago
The
Bulls.
only thing that I know from the only thing I know from Chicago is Chicago Bulls now.
We're talking about Champions League and Premier Leagues and okay. Back to music. Jovi or Stanley, no?
We know that all your friends, but
Okay. So let me just be politically correct then. From what said,
you can also pass it.
or
You can
just
pass.
as a whole.
No, leave him. Let him answer. Let him answer. He was trying to be politically correct right now. Let's do
I
it.
feel like if I give you a category to range them on, I'll be biased. So you go and classify them however. You've been talking about the things that you've been choosing, so you can go ahead and not make
I
it a
just
short
feel
answer.
like, and I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Stanley has just been more inviting.
Can you expatiate on that?
Well, we all know it's not something that is not public, right? Jovi doesn't collaborate with people outside of his circle. So, when it comes down to things of that nature, where maybe if some of us joined hands, we could have pushed the genre of or
The
the
culture.
culture or whatever a little bit further. And I'm not saying just for myself. I don't really care. I can't come in and say that I deserve anything, but just to hear that it's a common thing that he does not necessarily collaborate with people outside of his circle. I think that it's lost opportunities. Meanwhile, Stanley seems to be, just a little bit more open to doing things like that. He showed up for my music video. He's answered several calls of mine and reposted a lot of my stuff on his page. So for that, I think it's bigger than music, right? Because music is relative and subjective. Anybody can enjoy something the way they want to enjoy. You might enjoy lyricism. Somebody might enjoy energy. At the end of the day, it's like, what's the point of it all if it's not to bring us all together? And if it's not bringing us together, then it doesn't even matter. So that's my take.
And what's the point also if it's not taking Cameroon music to a different level?
Yeah.
If it's just about
If it's just about competition.
being
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's something that we've talked about. It's not something new. Like a few different guests that we've had have kind of mentioned the same thing. So that's not something new, like you said. That's something that I think in music industry is common knowledge that he doesn't really necessarily collaborate with people. So we hope maybe, Jovi, we get a chance to talk to you and then understand maybe kind of your mindset about that.
I mean, and that's cool. That's cool. He's a very talented guy, man. So, man, more power to that brother.
All right.
Or to talk to us. We're thinking of having him on the show so one of these days to kind of understand his perspective on all this. I'll say thoughts of him, right? Because there's probably going to be something behind that, and I think it's a point where a lot of Cameroonians are kind of curious to know why he or how it is that he chose to be that type of person. So I think it's getting high time that we get him on the show to have that conversation with him, and it's also good to know that perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to tune in for that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna a few more questions before we go to the next segment. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. I'm drinking coffee.
All right. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning.
If yeah,
Yeah.
morning. If your life was a movie,
Do you have a specific morning routine that you do, or something that makes you? Why is it that you like the morning more?
I could just get more done, and I want to be through with most of my day and have daylight and to still, do other things. And I like the sun coming in and waking me up and giving me energy, as opposed to just I'm not a vampire, man. I don't need to operate.
But interestingly, a lot of artists are like that, right? A lot of artists like they operate a lot in the night.
And I think I was just watching a podcast about that. And I think it's an interesting perspective, because especially to create art, right? Like you your voice warms up during the day, and maybe 12 p.m. should be a good time for you to start singing or whatever the case is. And so to go through a whole day and then now try to create your art into the night, like your voice will be tired. Right. You've been talking all day, you've been doing all these different things. So I don't really know why it's such a big thing, but I think it's been associated with partying, and so people tend to just party at night.
I was just gonna say, if we do kind of like a retrospective research where we look at the times at doing which some kind of songs were recorded, or times at which artists record songs, we will see different types of music being recorded at different times.
For sure.
Right? Like, baby girl, I love you. You're the sunshine of my day. He recorded in the morning. I stab you. I choke you with a knife. Give my money.
No, you're right. You're right.
How about the love making songs? The love making songs that guy must have been.
Man. Oh, started at 10 p.m. Even there's a
10 p.m.
No, I get.
Those examples were wild. So I took you with knife.
No, seriously though.
You could tell I'm not an artist at all. The lyricism is zero.
That is a fair study right there. It's a very fair study.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so if I have one more question, like speaking on the Stanley Jovi thing, right? If you were to name your top 3 artists in Cameroon that you feel like these are the best 3, who would they be?
First of all, Eunice, let me interrupt you. How is that speaking on the Stanley or Jovi thing? Just ask him the question.
I don't know.
Why are you like that?
He has to choose between who is better and an artist then.
But
why do you
two people that might not even be in the top 3 for him?
Just leave my segue, my introduction, my question. No. Just leave it.
I didn't want to send you that note in your text message later on. I wanted to say here. But please, Peter, tell us about a couple of your favorite Cameroonian artists. Is what Eunice means.
Yes.
Like I said, music.
Now we're going to have to take Stanley Eno and Jovi out of that lineup.
Right.
We're going to have to take them out because Eunice already did it. She just put them in the mix for nothing, so we'll take them out.
I mean, based off of things that I've seen, right? Musically, Salatiel has done some great things, even being a part of the Beyonce thing. I think that was a big deal, and he's musical, great songwriter, and so I've always revered, his contributions. A girl perspective, I've always liked Daphne. I think that she's really gifted and sweet. You know, I think that there's something about her energy that gives great vibes. Magasco, I love Magasco. He's really authentic to his sound and his culture. And then there's so many others that I've run into. You know, from I used to really like Fish before he passed on. I think I even showed up and I was in one of his music videos just months before he passed away.
Which is that song actually? I remember.
think it's Kakak or something like that. Yeah.
Kakak.
So,
Yeah.
Kakak sama
yeah, so
Kamantino.
I remember I came on scene. I think I bought them a crate or something like that of some beers and stuff like that, and I just saw how his whole crew just got around, and then I freestyled in front of all his people, and it was such a interesting vibe, and I really like that. But yeah, it's a lot of people that I've met along the way who've been really great, and so, but there are also levels, right? Like if we're talking big time levels, like the Richard Bonas and the Charlotte Dipandas, and you know, like there are levels of different styles of music that you can put out there that I listen to, but they're people of the newer age that I'm not necessarily introduced to. Maybe we'll get to that in our musical segment.
Exactly.
Right.
But I have one more question before Anyang crucifies me. Anyang, don't crucify me. So speaking of artists, we're still on artists, right? I saw you had a song with Martin New
Okay.
Songs.
Yeah.
Okay. I find that your styles are kind of similar. Yeah. But this is one curious thing that we as a collective have asked ourselves: what the hell happened to Martin New Songs? Where is he?
Where is
Can
he?
you tell us? Can you enlighten us? Do you know where he's hiding? Do you know what has happened to him? Because even some of his songs have been scraped off YouTube.
So Peter, you have the responsibility to go and bring Martin.
Martin.
I think
Where is he?
I think he's been on. I've always known him to be a guy that's been on a spiritual journey. You know, battling between the secular world, maybe you want to say, and maybe a spiritual world. And I think that's always been a challenge for him. Because when I first knew of Martin, he was doing Christian music. Yeah, he was. I saw one of his videos, and he was really young in it, and he was singing for God and for the church. And then he switched now to R&B, Afrobeats, that type of vibe.
Satisfaction.
Yeah. That whole album was.
That album was something.
It was
Sorry. I never knew that this guy had black and white socks on this video.
Yes, side by side.
What is wrong with what is wrong with you?
No. Look, I was just digging the vibes on the video. Like I love Peter's outfit on the video right here. Like, man, the way you bring out especially this one.
No,
This
and,
one,
and
this
ATM,
swag.
as you would say, if we can double click on the fact that Peter, you always I think in everything that you do, when your visuals always come out, you always try to have traditional outfit or like something
a bit
local.
of Africa. I try to in most things that I do.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
precious.
too, because when you Google Peter Jericho on, like, you put his name in on YouTube, it's like green, red, yellow. Like you can see that representation. There's no
Yeah.
mistaking whether he's from where or where. It's just there, and I really love that.
I've caught some flack for that. Especially during
really?
the times of the Amazonian situation. I think a lot of Anglophones reached out to me to say that, hey, we're not representing those colors anymore, so that's not our thing. And I was like, my bad.
Wow.
I just I grew up as as a Cameroonian, I didn't know that I had to abandon this, but that's a sketchy topic in its own. But yeah, no, back to
Yes.
Martin. I just think that he's finding himself. I think the last time I saw him, maybe last year, he was on a different journey. He had lost a lot of weight, and he had grown his hair out, long dreads, and he was
Oh,
yeah.
Martin with
Yeah,
dreads.
so he was
That's gonna be
in a
interesting.
different space, and so he's reached out to
Wow.
me several times, and I'm just hoping that whatever space he's in, it's healthy.
I can imagine that the
Hope
music
so
that
too.
comes out of this journey
Yeah, because
could
he's
be
gifted.
pretty
Man. He's
amazing.
very gifted.
Yeah.
Very, very. That's why we've talked about him here. We're like, what happened to Martin
Yeah.
New songs a couple of times.
You know what it is.
Yes.
I
So,
think that the expectations, right, of you believing that, hey, if I create something great, it's going to be greatly received, and sometimes we get caught up in that, and it brings out this frustration and anger in us, as creatives, that you've put all your energy, all the fire that you have inside of you into creating something, and you just know deep down inside that it's going to translate, and when it doesn't, it kills you, man. Music is one of
Yeah.
those things that the reciprocation is not always there. So I think that he probably
yeah.
stuck with.
And the funniest thing is a lot of the comments that were under his videos is like, that Cameroonian that sounds like a Nigerian that sings, and Nigerians loved his music. So I'm so kind of like, he was one of those people that I believe that could just go flow in between those two
No, for sure.
spaces. And I was kind of disappointed. I was looking forward to more, but I don't want to use the word disappointed, because like, he doesn't really owe us anything.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for more from him. And
hard.
Martin, wherever you are, we hope for the best for you. We hope to see you back stronger. Any direction you go, if it's religion, we'll go follow
Yes.
you. So more power to you.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
And whenever he's ready, whenever he drops whenever he does the thingy and drops the magic that he's working on, I think we should have him. We should have him
Yeah,
here
yeah.
to come and tell
I'll
us,
pass the word
to
on.
come and show us the product
Exactly.
about.
I'll pass the word.
Yo, Anio, you still had a couple of questions to go.
I could
And
keep my
yes, the
questions
rapid
going.
fire didn't finish today. It's like the whole show. It's like little
My rapid fire was
segments
not.
of the
It was not
show.
rapid at all.
It was not rapid. It's symposium.
Rapid fire, we slowed it. We go burn house with that fire.
Peter start the pace. He start the pace. He start the explain. They're like, So we did take a like one step at a time. Okay. So let's do that. Slow fire.
I have. If I was asking this question before we hopped into this other segment, but if your life was a movie and if you could think of one, what movie would it be?
Fast and Furious.
Say go be na chak boom.
I don't know.
Baby boy.
Pursuit of Happiness.
That's deep.
Will Smith and his son.
Yeah, I gotta say.
Where are you when you watched that movie the first time?
I was here.
Yeah, me person kind question.
If I can remember what year it came out, I don't even know if I remember what year it came out. But I do know that I made it a point to watch it with my dad,
Wow.
which was a must.
So next you have to watch it with your
I
son.
know. Yeah.
I don't know if all of you guys have watched that movie on here. Eunice, have you watched that movie?
Yeah. But a long
I
time
mean, it's
ago.
not something that it didn't do anything for me per se, but I've watched it because one thing about me is I don't like watching real life stories that are sad. Anything that makes me sad, I just stay away
It
from.
has
So
a happy
things like
ending.
that whole pursuit,
Happy ending.
it has a happy ending, but that whole pursuit of it will make me toss and turn in bed. I don't need that in my life. I have my own issues. I don't need other people's issues in my life
No.
now. So I kind of stay away from those.
No, that's understood.
That scene where he has to sleep in the restroom of the train station, and he has to lock the door up
Just lock
so
the
nobody
lid
will
with
come
his
in,
foot.
and he's with his son.
Man.
Yeah.
bro. I've been in some of those
You know,
tough times, man.
James BKS has one of his videos where he actually, how do I say, he actually mimics
Reenact
scenes
it.
from yeah. He reenacts scenes of that video, of that movie with his son. Yeah, it's a very powerful one, man. I feel like it's one of those movies that builds character in
Yeah.
people.
I
think every
appreciate the
young man
journey,
should
right?
watch
I
it.
think that's what it is. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have a lot of, adversity, tough times, but once you come up, for air at the end, man, you appreciate breathing. So
And
That's a good
and
one.
for you to relate with that movie, do you feel like there's a certain part of that movie that your current life most relates with now?
I mean, I've had ups and downs, man. I'm divorced, so I was married at one point in time. I got divorced. I have a son, and just navigating through, co-parenting or just figuring that out as somebody who did not want to be in that position. I didn't want to get divorced. I didn't, I didn't grow up in a household of separated parents. I didn't want my son to live that life. And so just trying to navigate that and trying to be present for my child and also just wanting to be viewed as a good man or a good person. I think that there's a lot of that in that movie and which is it's reflective in my day-to-day life. So yeah, no, I see a lot of similarities, and I see somebody who just never gives up, right? And Atem can tell you that shoot that I've been doing this music thing, and I'm very persistent, right? No matter whether I get 2 views or 1,000 views on something, I really believe that I have a gift, and whatever it might not showcase in this lifetime. Maybe 20 years after I'm gone, people discover it in Mars when all of us move to Mars. They might be playing my shit influential there. So as long as it's positive, bro. So that's how I relate, to the movie, I guess.
Okay.
Right.
I hope my answers are okay for you guys, man. I don't know. I'm just,
Hey man, your answers are beautiful.
They're
There's
deep.
no
They're deep.
yeah.
So they get me like instead of just firing back, I have to pause and I have to let them sit in.
Yes.
So-
It's kind of giving you that. It's giving me the insight of not just talking, just think first, because you do a lot of thinking, and sometimes you see in people what you don't have. So for me, I know I don't have that, and I like that about you, that you're able to think and then answer, and from a place of reflection.
for sure. Appreciate that.
And Peter is an amazing writer as well. Like what we're talking here, it reflects as well in his music when you get to listen to it. And for those who haven't, like there is a catalog. You guys should go out on Spotify,
Influential.
go out on YouTube and listen to it. And yeah, let me just have Influential play in the background as I'm
That
talking
song
about this
that
right
song
here.
taunted me when it came out. I couldn't get it off. There was influential.
That's because
And when you listen to this stuff, that's when you know that this guy, there's a difference. Because like we've been talking about this a lot on the show, right? If anyone has been following the show, like they know that I always badge on writing. I badge on writing, on Cameroon writing and stuff like that. And if anything, we've been talking about if we had a question last time where we were like, well, if we put a couple of people together in a room, like to create a song, who we put together, right? And my writer was Peter Jericho. Like I was like you guys should put those your guys, and you guys should have Peter Jericho get you through a course on here's how we write music, here's how we put those bars together, and that's how we put it together to create a story that people can anchor to when they listen to the song, right? I think that's one of the amazing things that people that haven't discovered Peter yet are missing out on, and that you guys should go ahead and check it out.
Sure.
Yeah, man. A little segue.
Or maybe Peter, maybe.
Avec le monde, on se place en position. Je dis descends, on remonte. On se place en position. Attention, tout le monde.
Assez périphrèle ou cote, c'est moi qui dis avec la chicotte. Now every venue wanna book us, cause we got the tune to make the whole crowd heat up. When PD pull up in that new truck, getting one for hook up. The party's never over, we dancing till the sun up. The club is out of liquor, we switch it to the hookah. Say my V, let me introduce ya. Whoa, yeah, we are influential. Can copy all you want, we go innovate. Can go anywhere, we have hands in there. You will have to give us credit, cause we influential.
Dude, where were you when you were writing this song? What was
He was
going
in a happy
on?
place in the morning.
Yeah.
He woke up in the morning.
Oh yeah, is this one of those mornings?
Yeah. It was probably late afternoon.
That's probably late
I was
afternoon.
just about to say.
Your voice was definitely still intact.
Yeah, I think I might have just come back from Cameroon too, man. And I was just feeling vibey, man. And I was feeling the love that I had from just my crew, my friends. You know, all those guys in the video, man. We moved deep, and so I think we had just been in a bunch of cities from DC to Houston and all these different places, and we just always walked in a room. A lot of my guys, we play basketball together, so they're all like 6'6", 6'5", 6'4". They're tall guys. So we just felt like we commanded and owned every room that we walked into. And I think that's what inspired just the vibe. And so to have all of them be present in the music video as well was amazing to me. And, you know, it really captured the essence of the song. But, yeah.
And this song is still very relevant. Like for me, discovering you, I had to, when I saw that it was 6 years old, I didn't believe it. Like I was just like, oh. So it's still very relevant to today.
Yeah.
You put it on.
I think one very relevant statement that Peter made earlier on the show. I think that makes a lot of sense, and that's why I'm making a statement of like for people that are actually not like, I don't know how people are not getting this, and that's probably one of the reasons why we made this show. That's one of the reasons, not probably, but definitely one of the reasons why we made this show, because we feel like there's a lot of amazing things out there, and for some reason people are not getting it, or they're just not getting it in time, right? Like this song, for example, that we listened to, it's been a minute since you made it, and interestingly enough, it's kind of timeless because we still have it vibing right now. If we would play it right now in the mix of all those other Afrobeat songs, actually right now, even it's probably even the best time to play that song, because because it's where people are catching up to. When you did it a couple years ago, people just weren't getting it, right? People weren't really there. But right now, Afrobeats and the way you did it, and that's still what I'm talking about a lot of the times, like the way you did it. You have this American accent. When you do the English part, it's like so clean, and then when you come and do the French part, it's like so Cameroonian. That's like everyone is kind of feeling related, listening to the music at the same time. And I think that's one powerful thing about your music, and that makes it really stand out. And yeah, I think people are gonna really vibe to it when they would listen to it today. So maybe we should make this segment. We should make more people find the segment so they go back to find what they missed out on.
And
Go back and
revisit it.
discover.
Yeah. So
What are you working on right now?
Right now, I just put out a new song. In like the last couple of years, I put a band together here in Chicago. Very African-inspired band. My guitarist is and vocalist is Jabal, who is on Influential. He's a great vocalist, singer, and great instrumentalist. And you know, me and him started hitting the scene here in Chicago because he moved here around the same time that he got on that song. And so we started going around Chicago and realizing that there was a desire for African music to be played at a lot of these establishments that wanted residencies of live bands and all of that type of stuff. And we found a way to actually make some money, you know, putting a band together and going and playing hour, 2, 3 hour shows. And so our next
is this your band? Is this your band here doing the submission for? That's
Yeah, some of
Jabara with
them.
a guitar in the
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
right?
This is just something that we did on the side, but yeah, we have more instruments, drums and bass and all those different things as well. Um, and
Nice.
yeah, being able to do a lot of festivals here in Chicago, and we've hit some places outside of Chicago, Ohio, Milwaukee, Houston, Texas. So I think the next step for us was to start creating music that we can put out as a collective, not just under just the Peter Jericho umbrella, so that everybody has the opportunity to present it to, in whatever space that they're in. And so we named the band Mgeni, which means outsider or in Swahili. And it's just one of the members of the group that came up with that name. And we felt like we're outsiders in this market, the Chicago market specifically. And I think we got a lot of gigs because we were playing different music. We're blending some certain Afrobeat songs with R&B songs. Like a good example is "Do for Love." We'll blend it with "Love Nwatiti." So stuff like that. My baby, my Valentine. Can I to make you my better eyes? If you leave me, I go die. I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I be honest. Your loving the torturing me. I'm so obsessed. I want to chop your kwapi. Your body they make me see. I guess you wonder where I've been. Search to find the love within. You know what I'm saying? So those type of blends.
My guy, you just surprise me so. You just surprise me for tell you move prepare.
I
Then we
love
gather
it.
ourselves, man. That's look. I've put a marker here because we have to
That
replay
was
this
really
section. So
nice.
that's amazing, man.
Let's see. I
That's
would really,
amazing.
really love to listen to the band.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if that's a preview of what it is,
Yeah. We blend.
definitely,
We take songs, we
def.
blend stuff that people are familiar with, things that people are trying to, like things that people thought of but didn't actually do live, like the some of the Burna Boy stuff when he did the transition with the Tony Braxton song. And why are you thinking? Did you know? Did you know? Girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And we'll have the girl sing that, and then I'll come with the Burna Boy parts. And,
So guys, you guys are hearing that when I'm telling you guys that some guy the way he's singing be oh boy down until like I mix so when R&B the comole say it comole say no can find you
Like
see those
milk.
are some those I swear to God that means no
yeah. So, but we also wanted to create
amazing, man.
originals and submit stuff to the Grammys, which we did last year. We submitted something for the Grammys, and we wanted to just put out some more music this year and submit some more stuff. So I came out with a record, or we came out with a record in February called Paint and Sip, and it's just tapping into
Paint and
yeah,
sip.
and it's tapping into that whole world of people, these establishments that have those type of events where people paint and they sip alcohol. So
It's funny. I don't know how you guys came up with a title because recently La Mike, my sister, made a paint and sip event.
yeah.
So I don't know if that's a thing.
That's a
because
thing,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
I think
Because
you're
I'm not on
letting
the
your German
internet like
show.
that.
You're letting your
I'm
German
not
is
on the
showing.
internet like that. I know.
Yeah, you're letting.
I own it,
Yeah,
guys.
don't
I
don't
own
let your
it.
German show
I
too
know.
much.
Okay. Okay.
Paint
I'm
and
not
sip
going
is
to
a
sit
thing.
here and claim. I'm not going to sit here and claim that no. I know. I know that I
You're
am
right.
lagging behind.
What's the
Teach me,
number?
guys.
He was
Teach
almost gonna
me.
say, hey, I know the
Mike
person that started that
invented
thing.
it.
Yes,
I know the person that started that thing. No.
I know the person that started that thing.
Okay, good. Don't get me sued.
I know, but guys, teach me. No, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm late. I'm catching up.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Paint and see.
In line with this, right? I want to ask you something, like, because it got me thinking about, like the Cameroonian music industry is not really like the best market for artists, especially artists that are creative. Like you create and create and create, and then you take it to the Cameroon market, and it's just dead. So is that why you've kind of looked for a different avenue,
Absolutely.
which is this? And I love that. I love that because I always say, if Cameroon need to receive you, go outside, like leave them, because like they will leave you to it said that in the desert, right, with nothing. They will leave you in the desert like that. They don't care about you, so it's just whatever. And I love this direction. I think is actually more fruitful, and maybe it will showcase your talent even way more.
For sure.
And I love it.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
and
Way
even
to
if
go.
it's
Actually,
showcasing-
and no,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm saying
I'm
even if
coming.
it's showcasing us to a whole new group of people, right? So I remember being in Boston and going to Ladysmith Black Mambazo. They had a concert in Boston, and I went to the concert, and it was amazing. I grew up, seeing these guys perform with Paul Simon, and doing all the all this stuff. But the whole audience was all white people, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, these South African guys came out here, and they're doing all of these performances, and not one black person in the building, and I don't think they care. They're going to, make
You can just
their money, and they're going to share their gifts and spread it to the world. It does not just have to be consumed by the African public, right? It has to be spread. It has to be. Even when Richard Bonas is of that same lineage, right? He doesn't even associate with Cameroon anymore. I've heard, but he does a lot of the.
He just recently made. It looks like he's starting to get a little go back to Cameroon. He recently made a song that's very Cameroonian themed, but that's the first time he's ever made that kind of music.
Yeah, but
he's.
I don't see it as a Cameroonian themed. It sounds more Caribbean kind of. Team, in my opinion.
I always feel like this guy. This guy's the most Caribbean Cameroonian. He's the most Caribbean Cameroonian that there is.
I just think he's a musician, man, and he's just really gifted, and he cannot be confined to just one genre. I think his brain is just so open to all these different sounds, and he experiments using his native tongue. So, man, I would.
And mostly because he's been exposed. He's had so much exposure. Who knows what is going to inspire him at that time, like at a certain time. So whatever inspires him, he creates. So we cannot really, like you said, pin him down to like a specific type of genre and say, oh, you have to produce Cameroon music. He's a Cameroonian at the end of the day, and we're behind him. We'll support him 100%.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
But I want to tap down a little bit on the should I call it a road show that you guys are doing, or is it like gigs or concerts, or what's the concept behind it?
A band.
The shows with your band.
Yeah, so we kind of have residencies, which a venue can come to us and say, hey, we want to book you guys to play every week or once a month at our venue for for the rest of the summer.
For a certain amount of time. Okay.
Which is we did with locations like Chemistry or Bronzeville Winery, which is all in town, and then based off of those, we get a lot of side shows, that come in, and then by the time the summer comes around, we get festivals, and when the summertime is when everybody's outside, so people are trying to fill their venues with live music, and so we're always an option, and we want to be prepared. We did a big one. It was like a Caribbean festival situation in Evanston, Illinois, and they booked us for a 2-hour set or something like that, and we killed it. But just stuff like that, Christmas shows. that was a big show that we did on the 30 on the 20 something of December. And so, because I'm also a prominent vocalist in town, and I've worked with a lot of artists, I belong to other bands as well. So people call me up to perform with different collectives. One of the collectives I perform with regularly as well is called Flowers for the Living, FFTL, with Harold Green. Man, we've done some beautiful work, man. And on the 30th, I think, of December, we did a big show at the City Winery here in Chicago. It was a packed event. I was singing my butt off in there. But yeah, so like things like that, right? I've just always been a part of. And because I am kind of like multicultural, I can do music with Africans and I can do music with Americans to where you can't really tell. Yeah, that's some stuff that I do with Flowers for the Living.
Flowers for it's really flowery.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So
it's cool.
So, and even within that, I try to implement some of my African vibes into it.
Do you want us to play a little bit of
Yeah,
this
you
one?
could. Yeah, it's
One day I try to touch the stars, go to outer space, I travel planet Mars.
So guys, go and listen to it. Go and get the full thingy.
That's smooth.
So this image right here, that's the image where you took that whole picture. I can picture you in that picture in the suit, in that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With that line and everything. I'm just like that suit and everything.
Yeah, it's the grown up version.
And that image carries a lot of
That
stuff.
image, that's Peter Jericho that I know. That's what I see every time I see Peter Jericho. That's that image that I see.
For sure.
Very
And
nice.
so
And there's a lot more going on in that. Anyone that knows can write in the comments. There's a puzzle in that image, that specific one. We're going to let it loop for as many times as possible. And anyone that figures out what's special about that image, add in the comments. Peter, we'll not tell them. We'll not tell them. Let's go.
yeah, man.
So is music your main source of income, or is there anything else?
It's the main source, but obviously, living in this country, man, you got to figure it out. You got to move around. You got to do everything that you can do, especially if you want to do it legally. So whatever.
Yeah, the reason why I was coming to that point, right? It's like, is that a part of a strategy on like expanding now your music, right? Gaining audience by doing the shows bit by bit and moving gradually. Then at some point now we go, all right, look, we've thought all these places, these people really know us right now, and then bam, we start releasing. Is that that kind of
it's what comes first, right? Like, you just never know, right? God creates this these pathways for people that you could never imagine for yourself, right? And it's really all about you doing the work, and hopefully you land where you land. And you never know. I can do this, and some up and coming guy says, "Hey, I love your sound. I want you to open for me on tour." And boom, here I am on this person's tour. Or somebody can be like, "Hey, I love your sound. I would love for you to songwrite for me." And I could be like, "All right, cool. Let's get in the booth. I know a thing or two of how to put something together." Or some movie director can be like, "Hey, I want you to score some of my movies, and I need a song or two from you." And boom, we're writing songs and pitching it to be placed in movies. So it's just pivoting and putting your stuff everywhere and hoping that something clicks, or knowing that it can click and it will click.
I think this is an amazing thing that you've just mentioned, that a lot of Cameroonians doing music right now, they probably don't know. And I like actually that Eunice brought this question up, the avenues of income, right? Because I think what you've just touched right now are the many ways that you're making money with your music that a lot of people don't know, right? You start your music is started in movies, right? It has you do songwriting for people, right? and you do this live performances, and then we all know the other usual ones, featuring and releasing your own stuff, right? So maybe you can educate us a bit more about about this sources of income and revenue when it comes to making music, so that the rest of the people that I know there's a lot of young people watching us right now, so that they probably have a couple more ideas on how you can make music, make money making music.
Yeah. I mean, my experience is rather unique, but I think getting a team was my number one thing. You know, just finding a group of people who I felt believed in me, and that, you know, that also ties into the band that I have right there. Basically, a team of mine as well. But from a management standpoint, you know, I did a few shows in town and got some people who are publicists that write about musicians and all that type of stuff that were interested in representing me, period. And so I have a manager now. Her name is Laura Miller, and she finds a lot of gigs for me. I give her a percentage of, you know, what we make on the top, and you know, and we go that way. And I'm pretty honest about what comes my way, so you know, I send it to her for her to negotiate the amount so that everybody can receive a payment.
Right.
So I have one suggestion of source of income, which is maybe do a master class on songwriting, because that's really maybe really lacking in Cameroon. Whenever you go to Cameroon, you do like a master class, and that could be something.
Yeah. Like I said, but you know, with songwriting is all subjective too, right? Because you know, a lot of the methods that I use have very Western, you know, styles, or the African music sometimes does not fit in the same song structure as, you know, the Western song structure. So sometimes I like to learn, you know, like how people write music, and you know, Tête Brûlée is not writing the same type of song structure as, you know, Michael Jackson. You know? So you learn the different styles of music all over the world, and you know, if it applies, it applies. If people want to write music that way, then cool. And if they don't, you know, you might learn a thing or two. So, but yeah, it happened.
So Cameroon music industry, what do you think is the problem, the biggest problem, and what would you do to fix it?
Like I said, it's really the business side, right, of things. You know, out here we have, you know, ASCAP and all of these, you know, things that we can attach our name to that can chase after our money. You know, we attach our names to it. If it blows up and we have publishing, we can attach our names to it, and they'll go follow our money and cut us a check and send it to us in the mail. In Cameroon, you don't really have a structured publishing, you know, thing that is very well respected, and it's a well-oiled machine, you know. So
Established.
there are a lot of people who are creating and not being paid for the work that they make, and that's the issue, right? And people have tried to find the upfront money. You know, producers say, hey, just give me this and blah blah blah. But you're supposed to be able to make money over time, you know, as your songs are getting played. So I think the infrastructure, like I said, it struggles in Cameroon, just from the knowledge that I've had, or just talking to a bunch of different artists, and the labels that some of them get signed to. If they're local, you know, they're really no good. I think Empire is pretty good though. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and then the other thing that Cameroonian music struggles with is, I guess, language. We're predominantly French speaking, and a lot of the popular music, especially at one time, was not getting appreciated by the Cameroonians, you know, because they associated with Nigerian music if it was in English, right?
English, yeah, that's the funny place.
Yeah,
where
and then the French music, if it's appreciated by the Cameroonians, it doesn't go far outside of Cameroon. you know.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck in this world where your most popular music is not is foreign to everybody's ears, and as much as we like Bikutsi, it's not really crossing over as it should, right? Into to the world space, as much as it should, as popular as it is in Cameroon. Man, you can't go to a Cameroonian party, man. Go to some of these francophone parties or go to Douala and they play Bikutsi for about 3 hours straight. Everybody's in there.
You can't escape it.
It never ends. So,
But that's the thing. Is it because our identity sounds in Cameroon? I'm talking about Bikuti, Makotsa, and the likes, and Bentikin and all of those. Is it because our identity sounds haven't evolved enough to keep up with the times, or is it just that those sounds were not made to cross?
like I said, it comes back down to the publishing thing, right? Because we've had international artists steal our music and our sounds and not give us credit for it, and it's taken years upon years for us to even find a way to get the credit for it. The whole Shakira thing was a
The Shakira
was a
thing.
big deal, right?
Oh man.
And you're like, how are these guys not getting the recognition? You know, even the Manu Dibango thing, he had to fight for that from Quincy and Michael for the Mama Say Mama Makosa thing. So it's just the undermining of African music at a period of time. We're getting more recognition now worldwide because people are getting smarter and they're, copywriting their music internationally. But from a local level, it's still a struggle. So I wouldn't say that the music is not developing on pace. It's just the I don't know, man.
The infrastructure to accompany
The
it is
systems
probably
in place
Yeah, it's
are not
yeah,
working.
yeah. The system in place is not working for the benefit of of the artist. So
But then, amongst everything that's happening, then we've talked about the things that we could do differently. What is it that you could notice at this point that's going well for Cameroonian music that we could keep building on?
well, we've maintained a lot of the authenticity, right? Makosa is still a thing, right? Makosa is still a beautiful thing. Even watching the run that Charlotte Dipanda had, man, like, and even her collaborating with Yemi Alade and all of these different artists. What's the Senegalese tall guy, bald head guy? I think
Oh,
he's a judge on one of those.
I talked
Right.
about him.
Is
though.
Salif? No. Yosundo.
No, it's
no,
not
Is it Yosundo?
Yosundo.
No,
It's
definitely
singular,
not.
singular.
Singular.
Sungala is a judge now.
Yeah, he's a judge on The Voice
Yeah.
Africa.
Okay, a judge on the Voice Africa. Okay. Eunice, your guy is going far.
He's a judge now.
Well, I say, the other one was the Cameroonian guy became a lawyer. Now this one is a judge. I say,
Yeah, no, but so
It's-
yeah, the authenticity of the music. Even Bikutsi, to even see newer Bikutsi songs. So that's one of the songs that I was gonna bring up in whatever segment that you guys have, right?
No, don't.
I know.
don't
I'm
say
not gonna
it.
bring it up. I'm
we're
saying
getting
that
there. We're getting there.
Right now.
We're getting there.
it's just thinking of our desire to keep the authenticity of our sound and not be wavered by the popular sounds in the continent, right? Whether it be Amapiano, Afro beats, or whatever else. So I think that is working well for us, and we're still finding ways to shine in our own way within the continent, which is good, especially within West Africa. So I think that works well. I'm not as tapped in as I should be or as I used to be with Cameroonian music because I kind of like just started, had my head down with this live music thing and just, just trying to remain relevant in my own space. But I see stuff every so often, and I appreciate it.
We
Nice.
appreciate
Yeah.
you. So, ATM, I know you're eager for
Awesome.
this, this song of the week
I
segment.
think I think we've announced it quite a lot. Everyone's
So
been.
before
it's
we go
been-
there, though, before we go there, like we want to ask Peter, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would love to talk about?
Not really. I think that we've got a good dive into what I'm doing now. You guys have showcased some of the music in the past, some of the collabs that I've done. I think we've touched on basically, everything that I have going on. Just, go listen to some of the new stuff, and
We haven't, and
Which
I've
are- what
deliberately
are the
not
new stuff?
not. I deliberately didn't showcase the new stuff because some of you guys are gonna hear it here first from Peter Jericho himself. So tell them what they should be going to look out for.
Yes.
yeah, for sure. No, so we definitely touched on the Paint and Sip being, the new song that I've done with Genny. And the vibes, man, I love the vibes of that song. It's really grown man. I think that's one thing that I wanted to do as I'm getting older. I wanted my music to grow with me, to where my perspective is matches my age. But yeah, working with the band and making sure that the sound that we create kind of showcases live music, So that was good. So we did that. We did Douala as well, which, like I said, we turned it in. We submitted it for a Grammy, and I had some of the Grammy members hit me up last year. We're not popular enough as a band for us to win the Grammy, or be nominated. But at least we know that it's getting heard and it's getting in that wavelength that I had a few people hit me up saying that they saw it in that space. So I was like, oh, that's great. So, and we got
That there is and maybe I don't know why you're just kind of downplaying it like that, because like it's not every Cameroonian, it's not every artist in the world that gets the chance to even be able to submit to the Grammy. So I don't even know what
that
magic you guys did. I don't even know what magic you guys did to get there. Oh yes. I wanted you to give us a little insight on your collaboration with Twista, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know a lot of things about you, and one of those amazing things is that not only do you come from the same city as Obama. Yeah. Now we have not even touched on. Yeah. And and you have a featuring with Twista, man. How did that come about?
So Twista obviously is a big time Chicago artist, world artist at the time, some years back as well. But yeah, he's praised out here heavily, and even ever since I was a kid, I've always looked up to him and loved his music. And so when I got with the team that did Influential, that was the production company that I was signed under, that me and ATM, we submitted this song for. They had a bunch of relationships that they've built over time with a bunch of Chicago artists, whether it be Selena Johnson, or whether it be Twista, Shauna from DTP, all of these different names that are in Chicago, and at the time that I was doing Influential, Twista was also tapping into the African sound and just listening to the African sounds, and I think that he wanted to collaborate with an African artist or somebody that did something of that nature. And so I happened to just be in that room at that time, and
in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And I look the part too, right? Like if figuratively speaking and physically, speaking, I look the part to where he's like, this is somebody that we can probably look good on camera together. And so the team put the whole play.
He's still being humble about it, yeah. But yeah, anyhow. So
I don't leave.
Anyang is one. All right, keep tabs on it. Keep tabs on it. All right. Anyang always calls me out all the time, so yeah.
I have to call you out,
it is what it is. All right. Okay. Good. So okay, Anyang is number one. Yeah. Hard one, tough one. Anyang is number one. And his song is Mamiso Transition. So let's start with that one.
Schengen.
Man, that guy's stolen.
Check, 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 check. C'est déjà parti, c'est déjà parti, c'est déjà monté, c'est déjà monté. Check, 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 check. C'est déjà parti, c'est déjà parti, c'est déjà monté. 24/7, l'équipe est up, vêtue de griffes d'or, couleur mat. J'arrive en RS3, sport back, body à bord, cœur opaque. Sur la route, je fais la loi.
Man. All right, so let's go for the next one. The next one's going to be mine. Kosi, number one. That's my pick. Number two, keep tabs on that. And let's go.
Them can't touch me, king. We are buyer. Listen up. First of all, please. Number one in the game, that's me. Give thanks to Jah Almighty. Them trophy pull me from the throne. Them got 20 little baby mama. Plus enough side chicks company. Bring the keys to me purple Bentley. Me the power, them artists confidentially. Booyah. Salam man boss, man a pass, man a lay. Take it all if you dancing. King Kosi on the throne indeed. Them a chat, them a talk in my back candidate. But when Kosi step in at the boot, them start sweat. From Douala to Abidjan, them a call me name. Cause them know say the African king run the game.
Yeah. Eunice number 3. All right, so let's go to pick number 3. Eunice came up with Peter Jericho Influencer as her pick, number 3. So let's go for it.
Attention, tout le monde, on se place en position. Je dis descends, on remonte, on se place en position. Attention, tout le monde, on se place en position. Je dis descends, on remonte, on se place en position.
Assez frère Loucotte, c'est moi qui dis avec la chicotte. Now every venue wanna book us, cause we got the tune to make the whole crowd heat up. When PD pull up in that new truck, get it one for hook up. The party's never over, we dancing till the sun up. The club is out of liquor, we switch it to the hookah. Say it my V, let me introduce ya. Whoa, yeah, we are influential. Can copy all you want, we go innovate. Can go anywhere, we have hands in there. You will have to give us credit cause we influential.
So let's move on to the next one. The last song on the pick is always our guest song. So we're going to get to song number 4, pick from Peter Jericho. And I need to find the share button again. Okay, let's go. And his song is Mission Compliquée. Mission Compliquée is from Sopeka Diamant. So let's listen. Something very special today. Start from the start. We kept energy for the end.
On the beat.
Oh, he did not.
I know this song. This is your Prepare your next song.
That's what made me like it.
He actually sampled it.
Said brilliant.
What? You guys.
ATM, you have not cut it.
No. Let's
Take
go.
it
Let's
back,
go.
take
Wait,
it
I
back.
missed it.
Take it back.
Let's start it all over again.
Diamantero.
Hey.
Buena cara munta.
Joe on the beat.
See, I want to say something about Bikusi.
Yeah.
He care the whole world don't buy Bikusi. We will consume it.
Bro, so there's something right. If I didn't do my run this morning yet, right, I would run to the song because something about it that you just put it on and then you just like go. It pumps you. It just pumps you like shit.
And he sampled the theme song for Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
That I get why you were calling the song Mission Impossible. Now I was like, yes, Mission Impossible. Then I kept finding Mission Compliquée. I was like, nah, it's not a song.
Yeah.
He sampled it in such a nice way that it's not the loudest thing you will catch, but if you know, and it takes you right back to where,
I missed it. I totally missed it.
That was smart.
All right, guys.
Song. See that mean? Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna go on 1. Okay, so it's gonna be 3, 2, and 1.
Boom. So I hope you came with the. I hope you came with the backup.
Nope, it came with a second song.
See, I came with a backup. It might not be as dope, but it's Charlotte Dipanda, her newest one.
Featuring Tyke.
No, not with Tyke. No. It's a new one. It came out 10 days ago.
It's always a pleasure having amazing conversations with you.
Yeah, and, amazing people.
Before we leave, man, give us a word. Give a word out to the amazing people out there.
We got this one life, man. We got this one life to live, and if anybody's gonna take anything from, my story and my journey, is you have to find that thing that you love doing in life, that purpose that you get behind, and follow that thing through, all the way to the end if you can. Adversity is going to come into play. You're going to have hurdles that you're going to have to jump over, but there's nothing better than finding the reason why you exist, the reason why you're here, with the gifts and the talents that God has given each and every one of us. And so continue to follow those things, no matter what field it's in, music, education, sports, whatever arts, or, just follow that thing through and be proud of yourself, even if nobody else can or is willing to be. So, yeah, that's the word that I leave with everybody. And if you get an opportunity while you're on that journey, play my music in the background as a soundtrack. And God bless, and continue to.
And on that note, on playing your music, tell us where we can find you.
Where do we find Peter Jericho?
What Prince Jericho on Instagram, Peter Jericho Music on Facebook, Peter Jericho TikTok, Peter Jericho YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. If you put in that Peter Jericho in Google, I should pop up some shape or form. So if you have a free moment, take some time and check out what I got going on. And you'll get a glimpse of, some stuff, me singing live, or just my life period, right? Me being a father, and me being a friend. So,
ATM, there is something that you wanted to, I think, leave or a seed you wanted to plant for the next episode. And Peter, it's if you could ask a question to our next guest, or if you could pass on a message to our next guest, although we don't know who that guest is and you don't know who that guest is,
who do you think
what could it be
next?
Not
No.
First the message, and then the suggestion. Yeah, but let's start with your message.
Like, yeah, if you have a message for our next guest or a question for our next guest, something that we could ask them when they come on, and we'll play them that message.
In
your
your
message
hardest
to them.
times, what did it take for you not to give up?
That's deep.
Nice.
That's the question for the
All
next
right.
guest.
So watch out for your answer in the next episode.
All right, ATM.
Yo, I think there's a good time to listen to what
Time for
Charlotte
me to get
Panda
some
has to say.
Z's as well. It's 3:00 in the morning.
So, thank you guys very much, man.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
Nate.
hanging
Thank
with
you
us.
for
Thank you
coming.
so much.
Thank you.
That was an
We know
amazing
it's
chat.
late-
We
It's
didn't-
late for us
we didn't-
right now, but thank
I
you.
We didn't
did.
see the
Later
time
for
go
you.
by.
C'est pas parce que je suis né là-bas que rêver je ne pouvais pas. J'ai espéré qu'un jour enfin je chanterai pour vous.